Jimmy Neutron is the father of entertainment. Nothing was before Jimmy Neutron. Nothing. His critical acclaimed video game, Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies, was a critically acclaimed video game. It won many awards, such as the I Like It award for being good. All seriousness aside, Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies, or OUT, is actually decent fun. It's like a cross between Luigi's Mansion and Jimmy Neutron. The premise is as such. Jimmy Neutron, boy genius, decides to go on a nearby comet to get special comet dust to impress the teachers at school as some sort of elaborate science project, because he's boy genius Jimmy Neutron. He runs around his secret underground lab, collects all the things he needs to make a spaceship, blasts off in said spaceship, lands on the comet, and doesn't even need a helmet. Everything wrong with Jimmy Neutron attacking Twonkies. Cinema things. His ship is then attacked by a gigantic alien guy, and then you go over to it and escape. But back on Earth, it turns out a baby alien stowed away on his ship, and it's all cute until it hears the radio, at which point it grows real big and multiplies. Then there's aliens all over the place multiplying and growing, and Jimmy has to stop it. The game itself consists of jumping around and collecting items that can be used to make gizmos and gadgets. Well, he calls them inventions, but gizmos and gadgets sound like they're supposed to come as a pair. Instead, you make gizmos, which are largely cosmetic, fun, and not that important, inventions, which are much more useful and in fact required to advance through the level, and super inventions, which are used to defeat bosses. That's probably similar to something, I just don't know what. Maybe Dark Cloud 2? You make inventions by taking pictures? What's cool is that when you correctly come up with a good idea, you get to see the famous Jimmy Neutron magical girl transformation, known also as the Brain Blast.
Think, Brain Blast!
Yeah! Two inventions that are pivotal to the game are the Make Big Twonkies Small Ray and the Vacuum Pack. The Vacuum Pack is pretty simple. It's essentially the ghost vacuum from Luigi's Mansion, right down to the way it controls, where you have to move the analog stick in the opposite direction of the Twonkie to get closer to it. But since the Twonkies grow by listening to music, some of them are too big to fit in a vacuum hole, so you have to make them listen to anti-music to make them small again. And anti-music basically just means Sheen's terrible singing voice. You know, I gotta say the writing in this game is actually pretty good. It's paced and structured just like a Jimmy Neutron cartoon, or really any cartoon. There are little jokes here and there that are actually funny, characters are consistent across the game, and things are foreshadowed subtly and explicitly. The whole thing about Sheen's terrible singing voice being so bad that it can turn Twonkies small again is brought up early in the first scene where Sheen says he's trying out for the school chorus and scoffs at the idea of someone being rejected from it because no one has been rejected from the school chorus for a number of years, setting up a punchline that he gets rejected from the club for being so bad. So later, when Jimmy notices that Sheen's singing voice is what he needs to save the world, it's clever and funny. Wow. So, I just looked it up because I was curious, and basically the entire plot, especially the beginning cutscene, is just ripped directly from an actual episode of the show. So that's why it feels like it's an episode of the show. Mystery solved. They chopped and changed it in a few ways that I like, actually. Mostly due to it taking place across a whole game instead of an episode length. The threat has time to get more out of control. The Twonkies really take over the town, and they have a third bigger form that wasn't in the show, and it's bigger steaks, bigger pork chops. Oh boy. And the Grey Star band that was going to play only plays right at the end after everything has been taken care of, instead of randomly setting up all their equipment and playing to an audience of nobody so that the Twonkies could come and attack them, and then they could come back and play again, and then come back and play again. Like, that just seems silly. And you know, other things that are better in the game are the 3D models. You wouldn't think that, but somehow the limited nature of the PS2 models makes them sometimes look way less gross than the show, because they can't bend their faces quite as much. Oh no, ew, Cindy Y, get out. You know, even though the game follows an episode of the show, there are actually a lot of decent jokes and original material in the cutscenes and stuff, so it's pretty good actually. It's a fun game. Jumping's fun. You can do a double jump because it's a video game. Of course you can. And if you run in a little circle, you can do a ridiculous mega spin leap. that is very finicky to pull off and has essentially no value at all. I've never once needed to use that technique, so all it is a source of comedy for me. It looks so stupid, and how quickly is he getting from, like, how fast would he be traveling? Game theory, Matt Pat, measure those pixels, dear. I want to know how fucking fast Jimmy Neutron jumped. I really want to know. Boy genius. These gizmos are pretty random. It is as if I were on a drugs. Why do I get genius points for mundane things as well as creating a jetpack out of a couple of egg whisks and an oxygen tank? This is just a water fountain. That's not right. Surely even one genius point should be notable. I haven't gotten a genius point for doing anything in my life. And this guy comes over here and he just turns something on and he's a 100 times genius. God fucking damn it. This game has the boss battles. Some of them are this one, but most of them are not. Each level you go around saving people and collecting the necessary super invention objects for a big showdown in the general area. Firstly is the playground boss. Also, they have not cared to give any of them names or clever titles like the rest of the levels. It is very noticeable and odd. In the playground boss, you have to put the lightning rod underneath him to suck out the lightning, to damage him very slowly. It takes fucking ages. Sometimes he sends out tornadoes to blow you away, so you can't get underneath him to plant the lightning rod. But why would he use his lightning powers when I'm so fucking far away anyway? Asshole. The next boss is a big ass lake guy. You're supposed to shoot special hockey pucks of explosives at him, but he has a shield of ice around him that he replenishes all the time. The pattern is sorta random, kinda annoying, and vaguely fuck this. Icehole. The third boss is a darkness man, and is by far the easiest boss ever. The super invention this time is blow a goddamn hole in the ceiling to let the light in machine. You can do this forever, and the beam of light stays forever during the fight. He gets hurt when in the light beam, so you can just surround him with beams and then watch him degrade to nothing before your very eyes. Black hole. And then the final boss is all of them combined. Black ice ass. Playing through this, I'm realizing quite how astronomically short it is. You could easily beat it in a day, but you wouldn't want to. Firing the zappy beam doesn't lock onto anything, and since the Twonkies roll at you to attack, you just have to get hit if you want to not fuck around with the camera for 10 minutes trying to get a straight shot. There's one time I can remember where the camera is fixed up at the perfect angle to dodge and shoot these guys, but that's it. Every other encounter has a terrible camera angle, also known as the default camera angle. So the best way to turn the Twonkies small is to just stand there, take the hits, and keep the beam focused on them. But death is so inconsequential that you may as well do it on purpose all the time for fun. When you die, enemies don't reset. Items stay collected. Every action you have performed is saved. It's really just the tiniest of punishments, walking back to where you were, and the levels are not even big. And can someone tell me why Jimmy Neutron's death animation consists of him falling down, standing up, and then going straight into an idle animation before the screen transition? Like, it's not a glitch, this is how it happens. This is what the programming is.
Congratulations, Jimmy. You have been awarded a trophy. Congratulations, Jimmy. You have been awarded a trophy. Congratulations, Jimmy. You have been awarded a trophy. Congratulations, Jimmy.
Why do I keep getting trophies? What did I do? How could I possibly be getting so many trophies?
Congratulations, Jimmy.
Again? For me? Oh my god. To be completely honest, this game sucks, but, you know, it's better than the show. Is there anything else to say about Jimmy Neutron that hasn't already been said in this video? No. That's the end of the video. That's the end of my life. I mean, Jimmy Neutron. Goodbye, boy genius. Hello. Subscribe, boy genius. I'm a boy. I'm a genius boy. Jimmy Neutron, that's me. I'm him.